John and Darin's office chairs provided by GT Omega Racing. You can check them out at gtomegaracing.com.
Welcome to This Week Inside Sim Racing, November 2nd, 2016 edition. I'm John Sable, and yes, thanks to technology, Darin's over there coming in seconds delayed.
Like a slideshow.
Yeah. So, yeah, technology. So let us know if we have any sound issues, any of that kind of good stuff. Hopefully nothing else got reset.
Yeah, and I'm on a new, different PC, so I don't know, maybe that's causing it. I don't know. By the way, I apologize for the mess behind me, all the boxes you can see. My wife and I are putting together a new home gym and haven't been able to get rid of that stuff. Hoping to get rid of it later today. But anyway, how you guys doing out there? What? I didn't hear you.
Yeah, well, not much of a response.
Yeah, hopefully my audio's at least good. If I'm slideshowing video-wise, then that's no big deal.
Yep. Nope. That's the biggest thing. Someone's saying Darin's too low or John's too high. See if anyone else says it. Oh, I'm loud.
Oh, sorry. Hold on. We got an echo. I had to frickin' John loud, Darin quiet.
First time ever.
Speak up, Darin. Hold on. Let me turn up my volume here. Hold on. Maybe Skype is actually adjusting my volume properly. For once.
That. And hopefully not doing the automatic thing.
No, I had it on manual.
Okay.
Test, test, test. Better? Better? Hello? Hello? Turn up the volume, Darin. I just turned it up. Hopefully you guys can hear me better. I don't have the mic as close to me anymore either, so I'm trying to... Everybody's saying, Darin is low, Darin is low.
And I guess for 1 week I don't have to be all cozy with the mic like I usually am. Okay.
John, why don't you tell everybody what we have on today's show?
Sure. So we have lots of topics to talk about. We're going to catch up on all the Assetto Corsa Porsche news, the different volumes. MAK-Corp has an update to an old rFactor classic. Going to talk about that. iRacing has some new driver hand animations. Forza news and championships, and then also a new pack, and also a tease of the first expansion for Horizon 3. Project Cars is a free version of the game that's now available on Steam, so if you want to get a sneak peek of what that's about, you can check that out. We'll talk about that. Endurance Series mod version 1.0 is out for rFactor 2. This has been a long time coming, so we'll talk about that. Let's see, there's a new video that features that Thrustmaster GT branded wheel. So we'll take a look at that. Driveclub got a big-ass update. And RaceRoom has one of his new GT3 cars coming pretty soon. So that is the news. What do we got going on happenings-wise, Darin?
Then we got happenings. Recap of our iRacing 24 hours of Le Mans. John's got a couple of tech tip videos coming later this week. Porsche Volume 1 test drive coming from Billy. John's got the prescription Oculus Rift lenses from VR Lens Lab. And I have the SimWind in the house. Matter of fact, let's see. You guys look over my shoulder right there. There it is. Thanks to our good buddy Avenger, Richard McNaughton. Man, this thing's sweet. I still haven't had the chance to hook it up. We'll talk about that when we get to that. And then we got a poll question. Are you a VR user? And that should be above John's left shoulder on that little eye circle. So just click on that and join in on the conversation or the poll. And why don't we... we'd appreciate a thumbs up. Or if you don't like it, give us a thumbs down. We would appreciate a thumbs up. Oh, we also have Q&A. So, Assetto Corsa, man.
All over it.
I'm rusty again. Porsche Volume 1 DLC and V 1.9 has been released. So they got 3 different volumes coming of this Porsche pack. Lots of different Porsches. Pretty cool. So 911 Carrera S coming in. This is the volume 1. 935 Moby Dick. What a name. 918 Spider, Cayman GT4 Club Sport, 718 Cayman S, 917/30, a 911 Carrera RSR 3.0, 1974, and Porsche Man, I'm out of here. I'm just gonna leave. Porsche Panamera G2 Turbo, free Volume 1 car or pack car. So the season pass is going to set you back €15 and get you all 3 Porsche DLC packs. Purchasing the season pass will save you €597 off the full price, costing €699 individual DLC for individuals. Is that right, John?
Yeah. I think so. To be fair, I was reading chat, not listening.
Oh. Great, John. Great. Individual DLC packs will include 7 Porsche models as well as a bonus free model for each pack on the PC. PlayStation 4 and Xbox One Volume 1 for the consoles is expected to be released sometime in November of this year. And then, so there was a ton of fixes that we're not going to read all of, or that would take up the whole show for V1.9.
I mean, the big thing that came out of this new update was a sound improvements. And we previewed a few weeks back now, I think it was, on the show. We played a little bit of the new audio that's going on. And so, yeah, that's what a lot of these updates are. I can't remember anything else that really stood out a lot. But, I mean, I've driven it since the update, and it sounds, I don't know, I think it sounds better. I mean, it didn't sound too bad before. So, and I was driving one of the new cars, so it's hard to compare and contrast that. But
and I have not driven it since the update. So anyway, I'm looking forward to checking out that sound update and some of the Porsches, even though I gave you two guys the codes. I don't know if I'll be purchasing that, but I'm sure we can get another code from them. So anyway, that's that for Assetto Corsa. Unless you want to talk about anything else, John.
Well, that's it for the first topic, Assetto Corsa. Now we got the second Assetto Corsa topic, and that is these. They released some images of the cars coming up in the second and third Porsche volumes. So, and this is where things get pretty interesting. This volume 2, in my opinion, it'll be out November 22nd on Steam. Oh, one thing back with volume 1 we were just talking about. I said a couple weeks ago they were all coming out on all the platforms at the same time. It's coming. It actually was only released on PC last week, coming out on consoles sometime this month now. And then Volume 2 is coming out the 22nd of November. I'm not sure if that's just Steam or if that's all the platforms. But anyway, you're seeing right now it has the Le Mans winning prototype from last year. That's pretty sexy. And yeah, some more 911s, 962C Longtail. 718 Spider, so there's some pretty cool cars coming up there. And then Volume 3 comes out on December 20th, and that features a handful of 911 GT3, Cup Car, RSR, R, bunch of 911s. The 2016 919, that's the prototype, and then the 908, 917, and 911R, which there's the images of those. There's only a couple images from that one that's there. There's not the 908 LH, which will be coming in December. So yeah, more Porsches than you can shake a stick at.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. The 962. That's like the old IMSA GTP, and that 908 looks really cool. I prefer the old school stuff. Not that I don't like new. I mean, I'd love to drive a new Porsche in real life, and I've driven a couple Porsches in my life, but I would really like to check out that 962C. And I checked out the MAK-Corp mod, I think just in rFactor 2. Maybe even checked one out. No, that was a Sauber and Assetto, of course. Anyway, I'm just rambling now. But anyway, cool cars coming.
Yep. So yeah, a lot to look forward to there. And also, I mean, if you're thinking of picking up one or two of these packs, you might as well go get that season pass that Darin was talking about, because that does save you. I think in the U.S. it's almost like purchasing 2 packs, getting 3. I think that's kind of how it breaks out to. So yeah, definitely a better way to go.
3 for the price of 2.
Exactly. So
all right.
moving on to next topic, and that is an update to this car from MAK-Corp, the Williams FW26 rFactor 2 mod. And this is kind of a refreshing of a old rFactor classic, since this was, I believe, one of the cars you got with rFactor. Am I remembering that right, Darin? Or was that a different one, Williams? I feel like there was a Williams you got with rFactor 1.
Is that Live for Speed, maybe?
There was one in Live for Speed. I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking of a different one, but anyway, this was one of the this was essentially an old mod from MAK-Corp. Yeah, I think it's right. I think it was a mod. This was an old mod that's been updated, and they actually Mark wrote up the blog post on this on the website, and he got a chance to sample this and run it back to back with the old mod and then this one, and says it felt quite a bit better. So that's pretty cool.
That is cool. Great looking car.
It is, and what's so funny is this car had the. I remember watching this was 12 years ago now. I remember watching this F1 season and just thinking how hideous that nose was. But then again, you look at what F1 cars look like the last handful of years. I look at this car and go, "That's a pretty good looking car."
Yeah, that's exactly the way I'm looking at it too. So you was just a young pup then, 12 years ago.
Yeah, I was in high school.
Yeah, you weren't as young as I was thinking.
Oh, no. So, but yeah, so that's been updated, and I believe that was released. I know Mark wrote that blog post before, but I think that should have been released over this past weekend. But I didn't follow up on that. But yeah, go check that out. Check out MAK-Corp's website, MAK-Corp, and yeah, another F1 car to drive in rFactor 2.
Yeah, I can't remember. Was there a base F1 car in rFactor? Because I know in Live for Speed there was.
That's what it is. FTR Racing said it there. rFactor 1 had the BMW Sauber 2007.
Right.
So that's the one I was thinking, because I used to drive that one a lot.
Yeah, and LFS had the BMW Sauber F106, Matt Smith is saying.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah. Yeah, there wasn't much stock content for rFactor 1.
No, that was like the only stock content that I drove. Cause
the only real car. Everything else was like fantasy stuff.
Yeah.
Can't even remember the weird names. I'm getting old, man. Stuff like that just is gone out of my brain.
I think it's okay. I think if you can't remember the fake cars from rFactor 1 base content, you're okay.
I think so too. Oh, there's Charlie right on cue. Barking at nothing as usual. All right, so moving on. iRacing sneak peek video of the work in progress driver animations. I gotta say, people think we're biased towards iRacing, and it is my favorite simulator. But I gotta say, those hand animations look pretty sweet.
They do. They look real nice. I say right now, when I checked out the Porsche pack, I drove the 918 in VR, and Assetto Corsa's hands are pretty nice and do something similar you're seeing here. This looks maybe a little bit smoother with the way the fingers come back across the wheel. Yeah. But no, Assetto Corsa does a pretty nice job of it as well. But no, this is good to see, and I think this is like a directly for probably mostly motivated by VR users, since you really do want to have arms on when you're driving VR. Yeah,
definitely. I mean, I don't know. I think I would sacrifice, or have a better frame rates to not have the hands. 'Cause I do like having the wheel on in VR, but I don't know. I'm looking forward to trying it.
Do you not always run the arms? Do you just run the wheel in VR?
No, I just run the wheel.
Okay. Gotcha.
Which is good enough for me. Honestly, you shouldn't be looking at the wheel.
No.
If you're trying to drive. So yeah, looking cool there. There was also some videos, we don't have any of them on for the show here, but there was some dirt street stock stuff within the last week that was released for iRacing. That looked pretty cool.
Oh,
see all the mud buildup on the windshield, John?
Yeah, that's right. I should have grabbed that. Yeah, they. I think that was Steve there, Steve Myers there running around in one of the dirt cars at Eldora.
Yep.
Yeah, no, that's cool with the mud, and I think they talked about how it's going to be. It wasn't implemented there, but it'll be different depending if you're running behind traffic. If you're running by yourself, you really won't get mud on your face. And then maybe they'll have like a tear-off system or something. So that'd be pretty neat.
Yeah, that would be. So, John, why don't you get the next one? Forza Racing Championship returns for Season 2.
Yeah, so trying to stay a little more on top of these different, I guess you can say, esports going on. So this is Season 2 with some big sponsors there. Michelin, Playseat, Logitech. And essentially what they're doing is they're having an Elite Series in Forza Motorsport 6, and then a recreational series in Forza Horizon 3. And it sounds like that Elite Series is going to have a little more of your prizes, cash prizes going on. And here's the weekly schedule for the Elite Series in Forza Motorsport 6, and then the Fun Series. Let me go down here. A recreational series, I should say, in Horizon 3 is going to have more. You can win different awards for competing in that, participating, stuff like that. So there's the prizes in the recreational series. You can get a Playseat racing chair, Logitech G wheels, car passes, swag. To be fair, to be top 25 in the world and only getting swag isn't that spectacular, because I'm sure there'll be a lot of people that are going to be competing. And then here's the cash prizes. And again, if you are first in the world in Forza Motorsport 6, you get $10,000, which isn't chump change. Everything just looks kind of ridiculous now after the whole $1 million Formula E thing that's going on right now.
Yeah, I agree. But I mean, still, hey, $10,000 to $300. 13th through 16th gets $300. It's not bad. I mean, it's great that we're seeing more of this in simulated racing, where you can win money and prizes.
Yep.
Yeah, even the prizes in the recreational Playseat Forza Motorsport racing chair, like you said, season pass. So anyway, some cool stuff.
Yep. So that's if you're looking to be competitive or want to get those competitive juices flowing. That's starting up November 7th. So only 5 days. I can't believe we're in November.
I know.
This is amazing.
This year's flying by. And by the way, yes, we know my video is jittery. What's weird too, just to touch on that again, John is not seeing that through Skype. He says my video looks fluid through Skype. It's for some reason when it comes through XSplit that it's getting like that. Right, John?
Yeah. Nope, exactly. I just pulled up the Skype feed again and it looks good. So, I don't know.
We'll try to figure it out between now and then.
There was an update to XSplit, but it said it really was more for Windows 7 and 8 users. So I didn't do it. Also because we looked fine last week. Even though maybe the last time we had the show a couple weeks ago, Billy was a little, jaggy or jittery. But then again, his internet connection is not very good. But I don't know.
Well, and it's not that, because again, you're seeing me perfectly fine through Skype.
Yeah.
Whatever. Yeah. Maybe we need to go to OBS.
I tried OBS. OBS wasn't quite as simple as some people make out when you're trying to do all the different things that we're doing. But
yeah, Billy's saying his did the same in the last show.
Yeah, so anyway, maybe it was that.
Go ahead, sorry, John.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's move on. So, also, while we're talking about Forza, the Alpinestars pack for Forza Horizon 3 and winter is coming. Tease for the first expansion. So the Alpinestars pack is going to include the 2017 Acura NSX. That's a sweet-looking car, by the way, isn't it, John?
No, it is.
1998 Nissan Silvia K's, 1990 Mazda Savannah RX-7. Now, there were people complaining about no RX-7s, weren't they, in Horizon 3?
Oh, yeah.
There you go. 67 Ford Falcon XR GT, a 2016 BMW M4 GTS, a 79 Talbot Lotus Sunbeam, and a 2016 Dodge Viper ACR. Alpinestars car pack is now available for download on the Xbox Marketplace. The DLC pack will cost you $6.99 US and is free to Forza Horizon players who already possess the previously released car pass.
Okay.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Yep. So, and then the other thing that I wanted to note, let me pull that. And apparently I didn't rewind all my videos, because another thing that XSplit's been doing poorly recently. But here is a teaser that they put up on social media for the next expansion to Forza Horizon 3. Or I guess the first expansion, I should say. And as you see, winter is coming to Australia.
Winter is coming.
Which, by the way, anyone in Australia, how cold does it get in the winter time?
Well,
Out of curiosity.
isn't there winter and summer on different times of the year? So like right now, like there's summer coming or something.
Exactly.
I love winter's coming reference, man. That reminds me of Game of Thrones.
Exactly.
Winter is coming.
But so that's the first teaser of that expansion, and I don't think there was any time frame given on that, but I assume it'll probably be before the holiday season. And so things are gonna get cold in Australia, a country that I'm not sure it gets that cold, and it's also coming during Australia's summer. So whatever, video games.
And by the way, I saw some Q&A stuff coming in. You guys, please hold them until the end of the show, because we're not going to grab them until we get to there. We'll give you guys like a heads up and say, hey, post your Q&A questions now as we're going through the happenings. But yeah, don't post them now, because I'm not grabbing them. I don't think John is either. So
No.
Just hang tight. We're almost done with the news, and we'll get to that.
Okay, so getting verification that in Australia, maybe the mountains will get a little bit of snow. Okay, so that sounds... Okay, but it sounds like in other places it doesn't get very cold.
Yeah. I'm going to be getting snow soon. You probably are too, huh, John?
It is 78 degrees here today.
Whoa!
It's a record. We're having like record temperatures the last 2 days.
We had a record amount of rain in the month of October. The most rain in 1 month in the history of this region.
Wow. So yeah,
22 of the 31 days in October we had rain.
Oof.
It's never like... I mean, you were here for 8 months. There was some rain, but not like that.
No. Hell, in October we were probably still getting smoked out.
Yeah.
Those fires last year.
We're referring to outdoor fires. We were not something else. Not because weed is legal here in Washington State. Anyway, so next up, Project Cars Pagani Edition, free game released. This is interesting. The free download. Actually, it's your turn, John. You can take this one.
Yeah, so I mean, pretty much they put out this Pagani edition of Project Cars that includes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Paganis, Iuras, and Zondas, and all the different variations, and 3 circuits: the Nürburgring plus Nordschleife combo, Monza GP, and Azure Coast. And it's free on Steam, and you can go, and it's essentially a partnership with Pagani to get an opportunity for you to go out and drive their cars. And I also think it's a nice opportunity that if you've been interested in Project Cars but haven't pulled the trigger yet, that if you want to kind of get a sample of what it looks like, how it performs, the tracks, cars, etc., you can go and download this and give it a whirl.
Indeed. So next up, we done with that one, John?
Yep.
Endurance Series Mod V1.0 released on rFactor 2. So, graphics, high-fidelity 3D models with high-definition cockpits. Do we have a car list?
I don't have a car list, but I am showing right now on screen all the cars in it. So this should give you a good idea. It's 4 prototypes, and I think about 10 or 11 GT cars.
These look pretty sweet looking cars.
Yes. So we've been talking about this one for a while. I mean, the Endurance Series mod for rFactor was kind of one of the gots to have mods, and they've been working on bringing it over to rFactor 2, and now it's here with pretty much improved graphics and more detailed physics thanks to the rFactor 2 engine versus rFactor 1. And then I think and there's going to be in the future. I don't know if any of these cars are new compared to the rFactor 1 version, but I know in the future there will be some new cars because the Ligier is going to join this group on the prototype side. So yes, long time in the coming, and it's cool to see it released now.
Is this the Endu Racers, guys?
This is the Endu Racers.
Physics created in collaboration with the Gentleman Racers physics team. So cool. I gotta give that a try.
Yeah, I do too. This is one I kind of want to do a video on because, I mean, I really haven't done much rFactor 2, and I just haven't really had a reason to, and there hasn't really been a whole lot of demand from the community. So I kind of, I've gotten a little bit of a taste with it, playing around with this Formula E Road to Vegas competition, and now I kind of want to try it out a little bit more, but with something that's pretty much probably about the best you can get on rFactor 2 is probably this mod, I would assume.
Yeah, the MAK-Corp stuff was pretty cool that I tried. I tried the Group C stuff.
Oh yes, that is excellent as well. I do the MAK-Corp and the Endu Racers are kind of two. A lot of times I put their stories here on the website or on the show just because I think they're two trusted sources. Yeah,
they're definitely the two of the top modders in the modding scene right now. What was that? Oh, so you're talking about rFactor 2 videos. Unfortunately, we just don't get that many views on rFactor 2 stuff. Man, when rFactor 2 was being talked about, we did, I think we were the ones that showed the first trailer for it, and that video just went off the rails. I mean, we got tons of views on that. But now it's just like, people are just like, whatever. We're getting some Tom Jones. I demand rFactor 2 videos. I love rFactor 2 and Sebring, John Foy said. I'm really looking forward to seeing what was it, Studio 397?
Yep.
Really looking forward to seeing what comes of rFactor 2 once those guys really start, diving into it. So, next up, next one's you, John.
Yeah, so this is another one that maybe there it goes. So Mark uploaded or did a blog about this the other day. Oh, man, these videos. There we go. XSplit's just playing me today. So anyway, this video appeared from the Senate TV YouTube channel, and it featured the new Thrustmaster GT wheel that we showed a little bit of over the summer at that London event for GT Sport. And it's only kind of briefly shown in here. This is an interview with Kaz from Gran Turismo fame. And here's some still frames, but yeah, not too many good shots. But yeah, first time we've seen the wheel in, I don't know, I believe that was back in June. I want to say July. So it's alive.
That people are speculating that's a direct drive wheel. I just don't see it. I don't know. It just doesn't seem like it.
Yeah, someone wrote, there was like some pretty interesting comments in the comments section over on our site on the story, and someone was saying like, yeah, this doesn't look like it has the proper cooling and design needed for a direct drive. And yeah, I mean, you know better than I would, but it doesn't seem to have it, does it?
Nope, not to me. Considering the cabling needed, I mean, if you think about the AccuForce, the Bodner, the OSWs, there's some serious cabling needed. So I think there was some stuff lost in translation from what Kazunori said, but that's just my take, and I have not heard any word from Thrustmaster, any official word. So anyway, I just don't think it's a direct drive wheel. That's my take.
Yeah, no, I think that's probably the case, but. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see when we see that wheel. The whole thing with GT Sport was supposed to be out later this month, and then that did not happen. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see when that appears. Well, what was also interesting, I shouldn't have pulled down the picture, but those guys, the stuff those guys are driving on, they have this driving on like a TV right in front of them. There's also a TV to the left and right of them, so it was a triple TV setup. So that was interesting. So I wonder if that's them developing. I mean, Gran Turismo 6. I gotta remember where we're at now. Gran Turismo 6 can be played in triple setup. That was something that was added well after the game was first released in an update. So I assume GT Sport's going to try it. Actually, you know what? GT Sport is going to do the same thing. 'Cause I asked them that question at E3.
Hello, John.
See, you talk about your memory. My memory is bad.
You have no excuse, man. I got 20 years on you.
I don't have excuse.
I got old man brain. So somebody was just asking, Tom Jones, is direct drive to a pulley? No. So that would mean it's not direct drive. Direct drive means that basically the motor is connected direct to the steering shaft. So there are no pulleys or gears to, so that you're losing, potential torque. So, yeah, that would be, Robert Tinsley said, indirect drive. So no, it has to be directly connected to the motor for it to be direct drive.
Yep.
So, next up, my turn, right, John?
Yep, your turn.
Driveclub update 1.28 brings 30 urban circuits to the original game. That's a lot.
Yeah, so it sounds like it's the 15 circuits that showed up in Driveclub VR, and then you can run it forward and backwards, and that makes 30 circuits. If someone has Driveclub VR, can you confirm that? I believe that's what it's saying. What is happening here, which is fascinating because they made you pay like what was it, $40 I think for Driveclub VR, and now they're just kind of like giving you these tracks for free in the regular version of the game.
Yeah, and they were talking in your notes here. It says there was a brief summary of the update, which included a touching farewell note from the game's creators, posting to the internet yesterday. Posted to the internet. Didn't Codemasters inherit that, or not inherit, but merge with that development team? I could have swore it was someone like that.
Yes, Codemasters has grabbed them, I guess, the best way to put it. So that team is now. I mean, it was weird when the whole thing kind of collapsed. It kind of sounded like, okay, well, Sony was gonna just kind of take them on, I think, in house, but no, the Codemasters has gone and grabbed that team, so they are now part of Codemasters.
Well, yeah, that Sony was originally, it was like a first-party developer, from what I recall. So, like, Turn 10 is a first-party developer for Microsoft.
Yes.
And Polyphony would be a third-party developer for Sony, even though I heard they're really closely tied to Sony. Anyway, so that's pretty cool.
Yep.
So tracks coming to the original Driveclub.
Yep. And now looking at the guys' comments, yes, you guys are saying yes, those are the tracks from the VR version of the game.
Yep.
So, interesting stuff.
Yeah, definitely. Next up, RaceRoom show image of the McLaren 650S GT3 at Silverstone.
Yep, and that's all we got right now. This was released on Monday as a happy Halloween thing from the Sector 3 guys, and an orange McLaren 650S, which does look evil and is probably my favorite GT3 car out there these days, going around Silverstone. Both coming #soon to the service.
Nice. I think they got an update coming out pretty soon. And I had mentioned it on a previous show. We've been working with them at Sim Experience on getting the most out of their data. Also, AccuForce native support is going to be in there. I got to say, I've driven some of the updates, and it feels freaking amazing. Both the AccuForce and the motion and what they've done just feels great. So, RaceRoom just continues to get better. There's not really anything to complain about. Well, they can dump that whole money system thing, in my opinion.
Well, yeah, the money system thing I don't care for, and then also they have on the graphics side they don't have triple screen support and they don't have VR support. So I like to see one or both of them get done sometime.
Yeah. Yeah, they're gonna need to get VR support.
I think so. From what we hear from people.
I think 660. I think that's George that works for RaceRoom. He's in our chat. Hey, Pablo GoPro's in the house. What's up, Pablo?
I think you are right. Speaking of, shout out to Pablo. I saw at least after the first week of the Formula E competition, he was on the front page of the leaderboard.
Nice.
I think that had the top.
So speaking of that, what happened to you, John? I thought you were going to win that thing.
Oh, I mean, I talked about it on a couple weeks ago. The first week, I had like 30 minutes to put in a qualifying time before I had to go out of town, and then this last weekend, I was so tied up doing the iRacing Le Mans stuff, which we're literally about to transition to. I didn't get a chance to run any of it, so I'm not doing well at the moment. This week I'm planning on actually driving.
Yeah.
Oh, look, and there's your other exclusive RaceRoom fans. VR support work has started.
Yeah, I know. I just saw that.
There you go.
Very cool.
Yes.
So we're getting close to Q&A. So go ahead and start posting questions, and we'll start adding them to the list if you guys have any. So let's start talking about happenings. First up, 24 Hours of Le Mans last weekend, and we participated in it. Definitely. Well, you know what? We were on pace to have a good finish.
Well, how about let's see. Let's go back to the. I don't know if you see it right now, Darin. I got my first lap up on the screen.
Yeah, I see it.
Going, which I don't know if you've even seen it.
I haven't.
So, first off, we ran in. We had a little. We messed up somewhere. Because we forgot about how this works now with iRacing, these team events. So, Pat Dotson, he qualified the car.
Actually, John, let me stop you there.
Yeah.
Let's back up a little bit even further.
Okay.
I screwed up by hosting all of our practice sessions with ooh, man, there was a little off there right in front of you there in the opening lap. I screwed up by hosting all of the practice sessions in late afternoon setting. And what that did, even though I had the default weather settings, it made the track temperature hotter when we actually ran what you're seeing here in afternoon. So we're practicing for a month, and so Tom Jones is asking about the setup. We're practicing for a month. Actually, I think we ended up getting a setup from John Ulmer. So John, if you're watching, thank you so much for hooking us up with a setup, which ended up last minute not being able to really work for us because it was originally tuned for that late afternoon setting. So I screwed up. And so last minute we are scrambling to get a good, decent setup to run the race. And so now let's go to what you were talking about. Pat Dotson. So it was myself, John, Scott Holmes, and Pat Dotson running for our team.
Yes, and Pat qualified the car, and he had like the 10th best qualifying time in all the qualifying attempts in the prototype. I mean, he ran like a 30 flat, which is flying. But we decided that I start the car, and then eventually, and then we decided I'll just start with the session, so we'll just go off my iRating and just be a little more not quite driving over our heads like we've been when we were running with the DeCarmo brothers. Well, my iRating is low because I haven't raced consistently in forever, and we ended up being down the 7th split, a 7th split that only had 54 prototypes. And then on top of that, because Pat wasn't in the session when we started, which was something that we forgot about, our qualifying time didn't count. So we would have started on pole, and we had the first pit position, but I ended up starting 42nd, which, as you see, like right here, especially, swatting flies. So,
that being said, so John started the car, ran 2 fuel loads, then Pat jumped in. Ran
about 17th position, I think, when Pat jumped in.
Okay, so Pat jumped in, ran 2 fuel loads, and then you got back in, John, because you had a wedding to go to. So you and Pat alternated basically the first six fuel loads, 2, 2, 2. And by the time Scott got into the car, we were up in like eighth place or so.
Yep.
So Scott ran 2 fuel loads, and then it was my turn. And you and Scott all had some offs.
Yes.
I did in like my first 2 laps. I thought to myself I should run some warm-up laps just to get warmed up, and I didn't, and that cost me. And then I don't know if it was because of track buildup or what the hell was going on, but man, I was having a hard time getting a handle on that setup and running consistently. So anyway, I finally did after fuel load and about a half. And now, do you have the incident, John?
Yeah, it's here it goes. It's transitioning to you now.
Okay. So I'm at this point in 7th place. Running down 6, we had lost a lap, so we were a lap down, but just a lap down, and I'm now running down the leader as well. I mean, maybe in this video you can almost see the leader up ahead of me, and I'm chasing him down. They had swapped drivers, and I was much faster. Yeah, that is that green car. That's the leader. So I'm about to get my our lap back at this point, and coming down Mulsanne, you're going to see it here in a minute. I cannot believe what this. I don't even want to call him any names, but this guy did. Crab walking his car to try to get back to the pits. And here it is right here. Here it comes. Boom! This guy was in 32nd place. The car was it was already messed up.
Slow motion.
Great. I'm at like 190 miles an hour. I have no time to react. I lose the front end. So what this guy was even doing on the track, right in the racing line, he ends up crab walking over into. I mean, the car was literally crabbing, and he ends up getting off into the grass. The leader, of course, gets by, and the dude just turns right in front of me. And and I go back and look. The guy was in 32nd position, laps down. I mean, why he didn't just pull over and tow at that point is beyond me. So anyway, I limp it back to the pits, 10 minutes worth of repairs. We end up losing like 4 laps. We're down to like 31st, 32nd position. And then we just all started talking. It just kind of knocked the wind out of all of us. So we were just like, you know what? We got better things to do than to try to claw and this is like at the 8-hour mark.
Yeah, it was like about, I guess 7, I was at a wedding, yeah, about 7, 8 o'clock. And then Darin texted me, and actually one of the fans of the show, I forgot his name, he actually sent me a little video showing that clip right before Darin texted me on Facebook Messenger, and I was kind of like, oh, great. Luckily, it was an open bar at the wedding, so I could properly mourn, but yeah, it was like, yeah, I was going to have to, leave early, go home, jump in the car, and wake up at 4 a.m., so yeah. That sucks.
Yeah, it was a total letdown. You know what? It's just, we were like Scott had said. You know what? The race was just starting to come to us. I started to get comfortable. Pat was flying anyway. Scott was starting to get comfortable. You were going to come back and do your stints, and we were again just kind of settling in and about to get back on the lead lap. We were going to be up to 6th place. I mean, things were really starting to fall into place, and that dope ruined it for us.
Yeah, and what was a shame, in my stint, I started back. I don't know if I necessarily started. I said I started in 42nd. I don't know if it was necessarily 42nd, because I didn't pass. I was 24th after the first lap, and I didn't pass, that many cars. But anyway. I thought the driving overall was pretty good, at least what I was experiencing. The racing that I was racing around people, everyone was pretty clean, and it was it was tight racing, which that's a 7 split. So once you get down, it was 7th of 9. So when you get that low, it's kind of like what are you getting? But yeah, but that obviously that was that's no way to defend that. That was pretty poor.
Yeah, poor form there by that guy. It was pretty selfish, that guy. Then on top of that, he ended up limping the car back all the way to the pits after that wreck. and putting a bunch of other people at risk. So that was just really poor sportsmanship on that guy's behalf. And you know what? I got to say, too, I have been super lucky in all the endurance races we've run over the years. I've been really lucky to avoid any kind of major wreck. I mean, I've had my own little incidents. I've never wrecked the car. John's never wrecked the car. I mean, I've dinged it up. We both dinged it up. But neither of us have been part of a major accident. And I've lucked out. And I've avoided a pretty big one at Daytona this last year. But I guess my luck just ran out. I was just to talk about being in the wrong place at the wrong time. That was a bummer. And, you know, another thing too. I mean, I'm going to give us some props here. It showed you started in 42nd. We were going to be in 6th out of 50 plus cars. So I mean, we had a good run going, and I think we could have potentially ended up in the top 3. I mean, maybe even won it if luck was on our side. I think we had a good shot at definitely finishing on the lead lap near the top of that split. But anyways, is what it is. Time to move towards Daytona. Speaking of which, did you see they announced the date? I think it's January 21st, John.
I did. I was taken aback. I'm like, oh wow, already. This is the earliest announcement ever for something like that.
Yeah, and then I am kind of bummed though. They're running the. I mean, I like the car a lot, but they're running the Corvette Daytona prototype. Pretty much same cars that ran last year.
Yeah, it definitely. It taught me that, or it told me that I guess we shouldn't be expecting any new prototypes between now and January or anything like that. Because it was Daytona prototype, and then it was Mercedes, the Audi, and one of the other GT3 cars. So yeah, I mean, essentially the Mercedes and Audi weren't out last year, but I mean, it's still another GT3 class. So yep, kind of the same routine, and it showed it. The image was at night, so I don't think they're anywhere close to day-night transition. So I think it's going to be another 24 hours of darkness.
Never know.
You never know.
That would be so sweet if it's day-to-night transitions.
Oh, I can't wait. You know, and it was kind of odd. At first I didn't like running the 24 this year in all darkness, but it kind of felt weird running Le Mans in just all middle of the day. So I don't know. Maybe I kind of prefer that.
Anyway, now we can move on. Anything else before we move on from the 24, John?
Nope. I mean, that's just summation of endurance racing. Put lots and lots of. I know I put a lot of work in last week, and I still wasn't fully comfortable with the car, and had good laps and had mistake laps, and something like that happens. Racing.
My faux pas didn't help with the whole weather setting. Scrambling to come up with a setup in the last minute. You know what else we need to work on for the next race is try to work on a setup on a rubbered up track.
Yes.
I think that makes a big difference. And I got to say too, during the course of the race, being able to see. Oh, and I want to touch on one other thing too, really quick. Being able to see the rubbered up line during the race was so freaking cool. Because I haven't been able to do that in the past because my 780, although it was a decent card, wasn't powerful enough. I had to turn that stuff off. But man, so another thing, I ran in VR, which was pretty freaking awesome. And man, when you got marbles and stuff and rocks coming up at your helmet, that is such a cool effect. So yeah, I ran in VR and ran great. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah,
I think I'm a full VR guy now.
Le Mans is probably the first time that the gravel and stuff being pulled out on the track in iRacing was like the most noticeable, because there was a lot of gravel being shoved out there on the track. Yep.
So next up, John's got a couple of tech tip videos coming later this week. So John, one is you ran that race wireless.
Yes. So I will have. I shot them both yesterday. I got them partially edited. Yes, one. They're both quick. After the last video I did was that epic Oculus Rift review. It's so nice to do a video that you can knock out in like 3 hours. But yeah,
by the way, John, you did a great job on that review.
Oh, thank you.
That was probably one of our best ever.
Yes,
we got a lot of great comments on it.
Yes, no, it was very nice reading. I actually did go on YouTube to read the comments for that video. but
I don't think we got any mean YouTube comments on that one.
No, I think that was all positive. But yeah, so tech tip videos. One's going to be can you sim race wirelessly, and we'll talk about that and specifically my experiences with that. Because as I realized yesterday when I filmed that, when you've lived 8 different places in 7 years, maybe it's 9. I don't know if I included. Maybe it's 10. I didn't include. Anyway, we live so many different places. Not all the time can you actually get an Ethernet cord to your rig. So I did a video about that, and then I also did a video about my PC issue that I had with the streaming PC here, and talking about troubleshooting an issue of your computer shutting off. Since I think that's semi-pertinent to our audience, or maybe just anyone Googling it, because I went, as I said in the video, I did a bunch of Googling on PCs just shutting off, and I was looking through forums from like 2011. I mean, there was jack nothing on it, so I wanted to put a little video out to help people. And then, so I got that coming, and then we also have a Porsche Volume 1 test drive coming from Billy, which Billy, you sent me over the images. I don't know if you shared with me the actual video file. So so let's double check that, but that video will be coming out probably tomorrow then.
Come on, Billy, get with the program, dude.
Billy's helping me out. He's been taking screenshots now, which saves me a lot of time, so I appreciate that.
Yeah, I'm totally killing it. Billy kicks ass. Very much appreciated. Billy, you owe me an invoice, by the way, buddy. So yeah, we got that coming soon. So John, do you have the prescription lenses?
Yeah. Yeah, I actually got them the other day. I was surprised. Came in this box. This was a little more. This is wrapped up in bubble wrap, but it's lenses in a case, and then another like terry cloth type thing.
You know what? I'm out of here.
Yeah.
I just want to get parts of the sim win.
Okay. So I don't know. I don't think I'm really gonna go. I don't know if I really want to unwrap these. Oh, maybe I will. But anyway, so yeah, these are the prescription lenses. These glasses I am nearsighted. This is a -4 1/4 prescription. I do have an appointment on the 15th to go get my eyes examined to possibly get LASIK. So I might need to get going on this review sooner than later.
Yeah. Or otherwise, those are going to be worthless.
Yeah, but here's the lenses. Oh yeah, that is definitely my prescription.
Sweet.
That's neat. Yeah, that thing looks good. So yeah, these are the lenses. These are actually the RABS lenses, which is an upgraded version of them. And I guess this is also a new clip they created, because I guess these were slipping out. Avenger, Richard Madonna, was telling me all about this, and he sent me a message in our forums that he got he was a backer of this, like on Kickstarter or something, and I guess they've had to make some improvements. So
Did you read his full? So Richard copied myself. You guys are all, it was a 3-way conversation in private messages on our forum. Did you read about how Richard? This is hardcore. This is how hardcore Richard McNaughton is. Avenger here in our chat. Richard trimmed his eyelashes. Did you see that, John?
Yeah.
Richard trimmed his eyelashes. You got to talk about that too when you review that. I'm
not gonna go that hardcore. I've always gotten compliments on my big ladylike eyelashes. I can't cut them now.
Yeah, you'd look funny. So yeah, because I guess they were interfering with those lenses, so he ended up trimming his eyelashes, that's just funny. Anyway. Sorry, Richard, for calling you out there, buddy. We were going to probably talk. John's going to talk about it anyway in the piece that he does. But so anyway, I'm looking forward to hearing how those work for you, John. Because I don't know if they work really well. I may consider getting mine. So I'm nearsighted as well. So those may come in handy for me.
Yeah, no, I mean, like I said, I just put it up there. I mean, that was my prescription. They even looked maybe even a little clearer than these glasses. So. Yeah, no, that's cool, and I want to jump on that sooner than later. Like I said, I kind of want to knock that out, especially if I do end up going under the knife and getting my eyes fixed. So, yeah, no, that's looking forward to that.
Yeah, this guy Rich says most women are looking for more volume with lashes. Yeah, as a matter of fact, one of my daughters, Ashley, always is wearing fake eyelashes. We call them spiders. They look like, looks like he got spiders on her eyes. So anyway, while we're talking about Richard McNaughton, here's part of the do-it-yourself wind simulator. And look at what he did for us. These are 3D printed, so these are like diffusers for the air. And you know what? I'm gonna get that set up this week because I got I had to get some ducting to be able to run up to my. I'm gonna run it right behind my AccuForce. But anyway, I mean, look what. So anyway, he 3D printed it with our logo, and then he hand painted our logo, and did a really cool job. So anyway, I wanted to thank Richard again. Richard, speaking of invoice, you need to tell me how much I owe you. But yeah, I'm going to get to testing this hopefully in the next week or so. I'll do a piece on it. And as you can see behind me there, you can see, I think you can see it. You can barely see it. It's kind of dark. Now that the sun's gone. By the way, John, I put a piece of tape on my blind there so it wouldn't. I had a line going across my face. Anyway, I'm going to be testing that in the next week or so here. And matter of fact, we're hoping to have it compatible with Sim Commander. Bernie is. We've been talking to Richard, and we're hoping to have some kind of plug-in in Sim Commander to where you can control this SimWind with Sim Commander. So anyway, so that's it for happenings. Poll question.
Yes. Clean up from 3 weeks ago now. We had to give the results of our poll question. Then we asked, should others buy This is your opinion. We didn't have WRC 6 or Ride 2 at the time. Billy, we have both now. Billy did a look at WRC 6. I know he's working on something for Ride 2. He wanted to play more of the game. So we asked your opinion. Should others buy WRC 6 and Ride 2? And the number one result was 76% of the votes was nay to both. So that's not good. It was a yay or nay vote. 10% said yay to Ride 2. 6% said yay to both. And 6% said yay to WRC 6. So they weren't not the most positive things. Even though Billy drove WRC 6 and said that it actually kind of surpassed what he was expecting. So that's good.
Whatever happened with Ride 2? Did we ever get it?
No, we didn't get Ride. No, Billy went out and bought Ride 2, but no, we never got. I got a couple of contacts. I actually got like 4 copies of WRC 6. I eventually one of the guys on the team, development team, got in contact with me and sent me a couple copies, and then another guy works with Big Ben on the publisher side sent me a couple copies and then said he was having a hard time getting a hold of the Ride 2 guys. So, John,
do me a favor. I shouldn't be asking this on the show. Forward me that contact from WRC 6, the developer contact.
Yeah.
Because I want to try to get in touch with them for sim experience.
Nope.
See if they're outputting telemetry so we can create a plugin for it.
Sounds good. And then this week's poll question, and we kind of did a question like this similar probably in the spring, so I kind of wanted to see after the review and now that we've had more time where you guys in the audience stand. And the question is, are you a VR user? And the question's up here in the corner, and it's yes, no, or hashtag soon, as in you plan on getting one sometime soon.
And so far it's 23% said yes, 53% said no, and 23% said hashtag soon.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, that's that. If so if you say that soon is going to be a future yes, that's 50-50 so far.
Yeah,
so, that's pretty impressive.
It is. So, Q&A.
Yes, we are to Q&A.
I love the first 2 questions.
Oh! Wow, there's a lot of questions here. I was gonna say if we didn't, never mind. I was gonna say I thought you only had these 2 questions, so I was like, repost the questions again, but there's a bunch.
We got a bunch in there. So the first 2 questions from John Hoy and Jack Sternquist. By the way, Jack was running on ISR 2 for Le Mans, and those guys didn't have. I didn't even hear what happened to them. They didn't make it too far. They were in the same split as us, and then we had an Aston Martin entry, and those guys I think ran pretty good but didn't finish. Anyway, maybe if those guys can get me a little recap, we can talk about it on next week's show.
I know Jack was in here. The ISR2 T. I know when I got out of my second stint, I believe, I on a replay I noticed me passing a car that was like front end missing and smoking, and it was the ISR TV2 team. So they had some significant issues, in the first few hours of the race.
Yeah, well, yeah. By the time I got in, they were already done. So first two questions by John Hoy and Jack Sternquist. Cubs or Indians?
So, for me, being in Ohio and used to live in Cleveland, used to go to a lot of Cleveland games, and my dad being from there, I am pulling for the Indians, even though after last night's game, don't have a lot of confidence.
And we're talking about if you're not familiar, we're talking about the Baseball World Series here in the States. We're down to Game 7, so it's best 4 out of 7. Cubs were down 3-1. Indians were ahead 3-1. They only needed to win one game. And they had 2 games to do it. And they lost last night. No, they had 3 games to do it. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Cubs have to win 3 straight. They had to win 2 straight to stay in it. So they were down 3-1. Indians just needed to win 1 game, and they've lost the last 2. So it's coming down to Game 7 tonight. I'm super excited. I want the Cubs to win. Just because they haven't won the World Series in 108 years, for one. I like that team. For John and some friends of mine that work for Sim Experience, I want the Indians, but my wife's rooting for the Cubs. I wanted to see 7 games, and I want to see a great game tonight. So I was hoping that the Dodgers would be there instead of the Cubs. But anyway, I just want to see a good game tonight. I've been watching them all. So
a good game would be nice. They haven't exactly been the most thrilling. Hasn't been the most thrilling series. So yeah. Well, as Jack said, this Kluber's going tonight, and he's been shut down, but he is on short rest for the second time this series. So Indians' rotation of 3 starters is insane.
Yeah, and Kluber is, man, that dude's been lights out. He's awesome. So, and hey, we apologize for my lag. At least it doesn't seem like my audio is lagging, but my video looks like a freaking slideshow. We have no idea why that is happening. We're going to hopefully get to the bottom of it for next week. We didn't have enough time to sort it out today. So anyway, back to the questions. Let's get through these, because I got to actually take all that trash to the dump before it starts raining again. So I'll get the next one here, John, and you.
Yep.
So Tom, actually, we already answered this. Tom Jones, who made the setup for the 24 Hours of Le Mans? So the original setup was from John Ulmer and Pat Dotson, that was on our team, tweaked it a little bit. The guys for ISR2, Jack Sternquist, who's here in chat, he, I think, created their setup. So, and then he also, T-Bone asked. Go ahead, you can take that one, John.
Q&A. Will you guys review the PSVR for those of us console peasants? I want to, and I said that a couple weeks ago, and I failed. I wanted to try to go and I don't know, reach out, find someone that we can maybe get a copy from, or get a review copy from.
By the way, people are saying, some people coming in an hour late. I think we have clock change this weekend. I think we'll be back to balanced out again. I don't know. They're saying audio's dead. Lost audio. They're saying that we've lost the audio. I'm hearing you. Darin's mic good. Now it's a silent picture, Joe. Rest in peace, John's sound. I heard you the whole time. What the hell? John's on mute. Me? What the heck would I would I have pressed? Nope, they're saying they can't hear you. They're saying I'm loud and clear. Oh, yeah. What the heck? See, but I can still hear you fine. It's got to be something in XSplit, maybe. Well, John, you mess around. I'll go through some questions. So when we review, you know what? Lolo's Gaming hit me up on PlayStation. Man, actually, I'm on PlayStation quite a bit. I've been playing Metal Gear Solid. But he lives in Spokane. He's on my friends list. Yeah, I'll try. Man, I gotta admit, I'm so freaking busy. I don't even know if I'll have time for it. But anyway, Racing 393. John and Darin, will you do a Christmas edition of the show where you can give away ISR TV gifts, or even have a show where you're both in the same room like old times? Sure, we could do that if you want to foot the bill for flying either me to Ohio or John to here. Actually, I may be going to Ohio pretty soon. I don't know, right around Christmas if I will be, but when and if I do, we could do one in John's place. That'd be kind of cool. John just disappeared. Next question, same guy. Or let's continue. The on-the-fly settings on the wheel. Wait, what? That now makes sense. That didn't make sense. Oh, wait. Oh, here's his first part of his question. John, I hear you. Did you guys hear John yet? Do you know what? Did you change anything, John? Blink twice for yes. No, we need to tell you guys. Tell us, can you hear John? Because I hear him fine. XSplit sucks. Man, I'm getting tired of this crap. We need to find another program. His mic is plugged in. I hear him fine. Nope, they can't hear you. You're still nothing. Hey, freaking XSplit. Okay, let me just blow through these questions and we'll just wrap it up. So he was asking, actually, John, you can tell me and then I'll tell them what you say. John? John left me. He was asking what the listings, the abbreviations mean. Oh, look at John's got his puppy. Look at that. Little Boston Terrier. John, can you hear me? Now he can. John, can you hear me now? So what's her name? She is cute. Chuck would be jealous if he knew. All right. So you can help me with this. So this guy Racing 393 is asking, do you know what the abbreviations mean on the Fanatic P1 rim? Oh, look at that puppy. I gotta make my screen bigger so I can see her better. Oh, now she's gone. There she is. Oh, now you're out of screen. Oh, she's adorable. Like, I'm sleeping, John. Let me go back to sleep. Okay, back to the questions. Okay, yeah, you know what? I know there's ABS is for analog brakes. FFB is force feedback, I think. DAM or DPR is damper. Anyway, maybe you can find, post on our forums. Maybe somebody can help you there. Biscuit Cabal, what are your thoughts on the iRacing dirt stuff coming up? I can't wait. John, maybe you can just do some hand signals. Yeah, so John, you can just go, thumbs up or thumbs down. And by the way, I'm not going to take any more questions, so we're just going to get through these since John is now muted for some weird reason. Is 27-inch triples 144 hertz 1440p essential, or will 1080p 144 hertz be okay? 1080p 144 hertz is fine. That's what I'm running. Well, I'm running Oculus now, but that's what I have, and I think it's fine. 1440p is going to be more taxing on your system, your video card, but 1080p is fine in my opinion. Lolo's Gaming. Oh, that's I already talked about that. Tom Jones, how does the 17 times thing work in a 24-hour team race? They don't have that. They turn that off. So the limit. John, you're sitting up higher than me now. There we go. Q&A. Who can I get speaker brackets from to mount speakers to my GTR racing seat at the headrest? Seat looks close to John's, so the seat John is sitting in now. I don't know. John, you have any idea? John's recommending speaker posts that you can get. I love how I'm doing the translations here. Yeah, they're cheap. You can get those little stands. You know, that you can get at like Best Buy, places like that can sit behind you. I think that's your best bet. Already answered that. This one's to me. Will the AccuForce wheel have an F1 rim? If not, is there a way to get an F1 rim? Well, there's the Sam Maxwell rim that with the Z1 dash integrated. That thing's like $1,800. But you can do something like, it's not a true F1 rim, it's a small rim, but you can do what I did and get like a Momo Mod 27. I needed to get a spacer that I got through Steve Spenceley in our forums for it to work, and then you have to drill that rim. But I mean, that's what I used for the 24 hours of Le Mans. And then you can convert Fanatic Club Sport F1 rims to work. There's like Sam Maxwell, and there's a few other Precision Sim Engineering or something like that. They do it, but we don't have one from Sim Experience. We may someday, but that's not on right now on our radar. Alon, who are you? No voting. We're not talking politics, so I'm not even going to answer that question. I'm tired of seeing all the BS politics comments on Facebook. As a matter of fact, I feel like I'm just going to delete all those people from my Facebook friends. Q&A. John, I have the same GT Ultimate V2 rig and was hoping you could explain how you mounted your button box. Thanks, guys. Keep up the great work. He drilled 2 holes in the crossbar. I ended up, I don't know if you guys know, you can't see it from here. I ended up drilling 2 holes in the, we had that long deck, like desktop thing. I ended up drilling 2 holes in that and just mounted it right to that. So, have you guys tested oh wait, hold on. Back it up here. Did you guys watch the iRacing NASCAR Peak Antifreeze season final race? And if so, what did you think of the result? I did not watch it. I heard Ray Alfalo won again. Is that right, John? Yeah. Shaking his head, yes. I heard it was really close, but honestly, I did not watch it. Nicholas Bradshaw asked that question. John, have you sorted out the issue with the CSL Elite base mounting? No. T-Bone, have you guys tested a GTX 1060 6GB card in VR yet? No, we have not. Neither of us have one. John, this is a statement to John. I bolted my CSL Elite wheelbase on my GT Omega wheel stand. No issues with just 2 fixings. Had to remove the stupid plastic moldings underneath. Does that make sense, John? Make it like this. Interesting. John rocks a bunch. He removed those plastic things. That's right. I keep forgetting they can't hear you. What? You can hear John now? Jay and Silent Bob, someone said. Who are the guys in Vegas, the magicians? Penn and Teller. Yeah, we're Penn and Teller. Or Jay and Silent Bob. Can you guys hear John? It'd be great if he can talk again. Or not if he can talk, but if you can hear him. No sound, John. Hey, Wim's in here. Hey, Wim. He said he almost heard you when you leaned forward. That's weird. No. Am I the only one that can't? Darin has found his calling sim translator. And this guy Evan says he can hear him. Maybe he's messing with us. Well, I know that this guy Evan says he can hear you. Maybe we should give him a test. Cover your mouth and say something, John. Yeah, there's only a few more questions anyway. Been sim racing in mostly Forza and F1 games for a couple years. This is Chris Wong. What's a decent rig to upgrade from a play seat challenge? GT Omega Pro, GT Omega Art, the next level GT Ultimate, Obuto. There's just a ton, man. You know, just look on our channel. We have a playlist of all of our rig reviews, and I think, you know, just watch all of our reviews and make up your mind for yourself. There's a lot of great options, and it really depends on your budget. Marty ACLS 17. For PC racing, are the Thrustmaster TPA T3 PA pedals worth upgrading from the G27 stock pedals? I know an adapter is needed. Yeah, I would take a T3 PA set over G27 stock pedals, unless the G27 stock pedals were upgraded with a load cell. And which title includes historic one has the best AI? I'm not sure what that one means. Oh, he was asking us, not including 2016, which Codemasters F1 title did you think was the best? I don't know. Honestly, I didn't play them all enough to give my honest opinion. From what I hear, I think like 2013 may have been the best one. But anyway, that is going to wrap things up, guys. And thank you all for watching. Sorry about the technical difficulties. Someone said in chat it wouldn't be Inside Sim Racing if there wasn't technical difficulties. So, yeah. So, John said exactly. So, we'll try to get this jittery thing fixed with me so I don't look like Max Headroom. How do you guys like that? Anyway, thank you all for watching. Thanks for participating in the poll. If you can donate to the cause, there's a link to do that up top. We also have Amazon, links to Amazon if you want to buy through Amazon in the UK or the US, down in the links or the description of the show. Puppy chewed through the mic wire, John. That's the problem. So thank you guys for watching, and that's going to wrap it up for John Sable. I'm Darin Ganji. We'll see you guys next time. Shut up. Oh, maybe that's the problem. So anyway, we're not gone yet. We're still here.